What is going on, guys? I'm doing another video, and welcome back to Umineko no Naku Koni. And we are starting episode 2 today. I am very excited, and as you can see, I finally transferred over to the Umineko project with the thanks of LAMBDADELTO. Huge shout out to him. Go subscribe to him, link in the description. And yeah, we're just going to be picking up where things left off. And this is a very interesting background. Hopefully that's a preview of things to see. And yeah, let us begin. Episode 2, Turn of the Golden Witch. Good morning, the Golden Witch has been waiting impatiently for you. I have been waiting impatiently for her as well. Please take your seat opposite her at the table. Have you rested well and deliberated over how you will play? The witch has high expectations of you and is determined to come at you right from the opening. I, too, am looking forward to observing your moves. The difficulty level is first rate. The witch plans to make you surrender in an instant. Haha, good luck with that. Because last time I was actually... At least I think I was doing a pretty good job denying her existence. Hopefully this time she doesn't just appear and start killing people. Because that'd kind of be hard to deny that existence if that's the case. Also, there's lip syncing now, and I'm really excited for that. Well, I mean, I kind of hope it's fantasy. Like, imagine if someone's just like, oh yeah, Umineko is real. Everything that happened is real. Oh, Shannon, ooh yay, it says the name of the song in the corner. I was actually told about that, and that's... Oh my god, and the text box looks good too. Okay, for a second I thought she was Rena when she said that. Shannon found a pair of hammerhead sharks playfully swimming in the tank, and made a fuss like a grade school sitting in an aquarium for the first time. Eat? Why would you want to eat them? But seriously, the lip syncing is so good. Shannon embraced her chest with both hands in embarrassment. She apparently felt like she was being made fun of for wearing these clothes that she wasn't used to. Even though George's face didn't show it, the truth was that even he was surprised at how easily those tremendous words had left his lips. And he was as embarrassed as Shannon on the inside. However, when he saw how embarrassed Shannon was, he started to feel as though he was teasing the girl he liked, and instead of embarrassed, ticklish amusement. What? Wait, that isn't just a feeling. I really am teasing the girl I like. It pains me to admit it. Oh my god, am I playing as George now? But I used to think that such an embarrassing expressions had fallen so far out that they would no longer showed up in even manga. On the contrary, if I'd seen a couple acting like that, I'd have felt like throwing rocks at them. Oh, and accidentally pressed shift instead of enter. However, even if rocks were thrown at us now, I'm sure they'd just be like confetti. Yeah, I'm sure if a rock hits your head right now, it would be confetti. Now, I can't even remember those lonely days when I felt jealous of couples who were completely oblivious to their surroundings. Oblivious. To use an old-fashioned phrase, that would be truly rose-colored days. I was so entranced that I no longer even noticed the big tank of the world's largest aquarium. Instead, I saw only Shannon happily playing with the fish, and all her changing emotions showing on her face. I'm really excited for them to get to Rokensima and die. Okay, George's lip syncing is nice, but it kind of looks like a demon sometimes. Despite its size, it hadn't thought of the tank as anything more than a tank. That's why I thought her expression about slicing off a part of the sea with a knife was interesting. Wait, is that cover art? No matter how far humans broaden their expressions, in the end, they can only hold a single personal worldview. Maybe that's why it's so interesting to interact with someone who has a different worldview. I said that to her honestly. She responded. George, shut up.
だったとしても、私たちは生きているうちにどれほどの広さを行き来できるんでしょうね。きっと
Yeah, that is true.
それは海よりずっと狭い。
確かに皮肉な話だね。世界はこんなにも広いのに、僕たち人間のほとんどは自分の国からも出ずに生涯。
そこが完成された世界だと信じられるなら、たとえ狭い井戸の底だったって立派な世界で海なんです。
I know I keep saying it, but this like is so like the text box, the text, the lip syncing. This is just awesome. Shannon, who spent 2 days as a servant on a small island 10 kilometers in the circumference called Rokenzima, said that with a smile. Yeah, this must be nice for her to actually like see something other than Kinzo's ugly face. Right on. Turn of the Golden Wits. Much shorter opening, probably because we don't have to meet all the characters. Oh no, the music. Oh yes, Battler. I wonder if he'll actually be able to like get any proof. Oh yes, and those are the survivors of last. Well, not really survivors because no one survived, but those are the people who got to go to the Golden Land. And by Golden Land, I say that with like the biggest quotation marks ever. I wonder if we'll have to sit through the airport scene again. Because Battle is gonna fall. Honestly, oh, Beatrice is now actually in the credits. The thing that like surprised me is like how quickly the mood changed. Like remembering stuff from like the beginning of episode 1 compared to the stuff I know now. Like things have changed. This has definitely been a journey so far, and I'm like not even a fourth of the way done yet. Door of Summer. Is this another date? After we finished walking through the whole aquarium, we had a sort of late afternoon once at a restaurant with a nice view. Any boys heard would jump about at the sight of a buffet. I myself was like that in the past, but with Shannon beside me, this buffet felt. It's so weird being in someone else's perspective. I was, how should I put it, worried about my appearance, and chose a menu suited for a snob: toast, salad, and coffee. If I were by myself, I'd have made a pile of greasy stuff like yogurt, mashed potatoes, grains, and the like.
シャノンはそんな程度でお腹だとしたら、男ってのは本当に燃費の悪い生き物らしいね。
別にそういうつ。
On Shannon's tray there was only tea and salad. Maybe the very idea that she could get away with at least one more dish indicated I was thinking with my male stomach.
ジョージ様こそそれで足りるんですか？男の方はもう少し召し上がった方が良いか。普段のジョージ様だったらもう少しお昼を召し上がられていると思
Why
い
does
ますよ。
seventh expansion always boil down to men eating a lot?
しまった、そうか。
This is what happened to KHC
シャ
in
ノン
the
には
beginning of
僕
Onikakushi.
が本家で昼食をとるとき、どれくらい食べてるのかバレてるんだったね。
はい、だから今日はお腹の具合でも悪いのかと思いまして。
Sen was so unconcerned that I wasn't feeling well. Apparently I had made it worth my stupid attempt to impress her, and in case it didn't seem like my stomach was going to let me keep this pretense up any longer.
いやーもう白状するよ。ついついカッコつけちゃってね。女の子と一緒だからって遠慮しちゃって。
だと思いました。親族会議でのお昼の食べっぷりから考えて、それではとても足りないと思いましたので、遠慮なさらずにどうぞもう一皿を取りに行ってきてくださいな。
ずるいな。僕ばっかり恥ずかしいよ。
What's like at the edge of the restaurant? Like the glass, it literally looks like this is on top of like a mountain or something. And if you take a step out, you'll just fall to your
じゃあ
death.
シャノンはどうなんだい？
Like just no ground.
普段からこんな小食で後宮家のお勤めがこ
They
なせ
should
る
have
の
made a
かい？
background. This looks really terrifying. Shannon grew silent and blushed bright red. Apparently, I wasn't the only one putting on a front. when I realized that my embarrassment disappeared completely.
なんだ、シャノンもそれじゃ足りないんじゃないか。そうだよそうだよ。普段のランチならもう少し量が多いもん。
女の子のお腹は
Magic is real.
これが
Ow. Oh my god, she's becoming
僕たち
Rena.
は互いに見えっ張りだったってことになるね。もう遠慮はなしにしないかい？
I smiled just so that I wouldn't make fun of her anymore and stood up from the seat.
せっかく沖縄まで来たのにゴーヤを食べないのはもったいないからね。ゴーヤの炒め物でも持ってくるよ。シャノンも一緒に行こうよ。ほらほら。
To anyone watching us, we might have seemed like a pretty humorous and above all embarrassing couple. Oh, you're trying to brag now. But it's only after becoming a couple that you realize this banter means the world to us and is our world. So no matter how cold the looks we might have been getting from other people, we wouldn't even notice. Indeed, at this age, I finally understand the feelings of couples who want to endlessly throw with any regard to their surroundings. After I return with a plate... Okay, first of all, this music is getting turned down just a little. Wait, can I... I can access the character screen early? Oh. Oh my god, and they even have their outfits. That's actually kind of cool. But anyway, as I was saying, this music is getting turned down. Like, I feel like it's way too loud. What? Oh. Apparently, escape key doesn't... Wait, but I just used escape. What the... Okay, I'll have to figure out how to get back to the menu because apparently that doesn't work anymore. While laughing at our fake Scotticism, we resumed our lunch.
せっかく海を一望できる展
Oh
望
yeah,
レ
right,
ストランなのに
I like how I forgot what I literally just did like a second after doing it. Okay, next. Oh my god, and I can even adjust the voice volume of all the characters. Like, this is the true Umineko experience. There it is. Okay, that should be fun. Our window seats, which we were lucky to get, showed us a seaside scenery so grandiose that we didn't even fit entirely within our field of vision. However, because of the cloudy sky, it was a far cry from its normal beauty.
そうですね。晴れていたらさぞや真っ青な海を見せてくれたでしょ。
そうだね。普段六軒島で海を見慣れてると思うけど、ここの海はきっと格別な青さを見せてくれたはずだよ。残念だな。
でもお仕事の最中に見る海はどんなに青くても灰色と同じです。でも今日はお仕事中じゃないから。
Apparently, Shannon was doing her best to say an embarrassing line, but I grade her silly.
惜しいな。ジョージ様と二人きりで見る海なら、たとえ灰色でも真っ青に見えます。って言えたら100点満点でご褒美だったんだけどな。
すみません。
Yeah, Shannon's officially
ご
runner
褒美
now.
は何だったか聞きたい。
聞いてもいいものでしたら。
ダメ、教えない。
ずるいですよ、そんなの。
No, I'm just waiting for Shannon to punch him, then she'll truly be Rena. When I was in elementary school, I was always the kid that got bullied. When everyone teased me, I grew nervous and speechless to the delight of the boys. Back then, I wondered why everyone teased me, but now teasing Shannon like this, I understand why. This was so much fun. I can play with her emotions. Are you sure you're not Battler? And I can have them all to myself. Right now, I can't think of any higher pleasure. Oh my god, George is very different than how he made himself appear at the freaking family conference. So I decided to end the topic here and then. It's not good to be too persistent.
お昼が終わったら海岸を歩いてみないかい？ひょっとすると雲が晴れて素敵な海が見られるかもしれないよ。
そうですね。行ってみたいです。
うん、そうしよう。でもそのケーキも本当に美味しそうだね。僕も同じものを持ってこようかな。
いけません。お昼にそんなに食べた上にケーキまで食べたら太っちゃいますよ。
Her face.
ジョージ様は秀吉様の血が濃いみたいですから、気をつけないとおデブさんになっちゃいます。
じゃあシャノンは僕がおデブになったら嫌いになっちゃう？僕はたとえシャノンがおデブになっちゃっても。
そういう意味じゃなく、ちゃんと体を気遣わないと健康にって。
母 母さんにもよく注意されるよ。やっぱり僕も太極拳とかを始めて運動しないとダメかな。
ダイエットは無茶な運動よりも食生活の見直しから始めた方がいいんですよ。その上で運動を重ねないと効果が出ないんだそうです。
つまりそれはデザートのケーキは控えろってことだ
Order it
ね。
anyway.
じゃあ仕方ないからシャノンがそのケーキを頬張るところを眺めていてあげるよ。
Okay, that's weird.
その
um,
ケーキ丸々一つはさすがに食べ過ぎだと思いますけど、半分くらいだったら大丈夫
yeah,
かもしれま
split
せん。
it. That would be romantic.
これ本当に美味しいんですよ。
Shannon cut her own cake and tried to move half on my salad plate. I had no doubt that she wanted to share the flavor of the delicious cake with me. Even so, I deliberately and meanly pulled my plate away from her. She blinked her eyes in surprise. She couldn't seem to figure out if it was a refusal of the cake or not. So I winked, opened my mouth, and said, ah.
それが一番したかったんですね。もうジョージ様は甘えん坊です。
Yeah, if you're not careful, you're gonna get shoved out into the abyss of the background. Oh.
はい、
While she still wearing an embarrassed, expressive face, Shannon offered the cake to me with a fork. Chomp. It tasted like cheap chocolate cake you could find anywhere. Still, it was exceptional. Because eating cake in such an embarrassing way, as if we were the ultimate stereotypical lovey-dovey couple, had been my dream for many years. I made this cake's flavor heavenly. If the earth is destined to end someday, I wouldn't have had any regrets if it happened right then. It was such a moment of bliss. Is this real Kenjima? Or are we still on deserted Cake Island? After that, we gathered shells, ran from waves, and enjoyed each other's company while— oh, yep, no Kenjima. In the end, the clouds never parted. However, we both believed that our eyes were still reflecting a deep blue sea.
なんだか幸せすぎて
This is actually nice to see because, like, even though we saw them together in the last episode, they didn't really have much. Like, they only had, like, 2 scenes of, like, well, technically one scene of them actually together, the other of George just mourning her. So it's actually nice to see scenes like this. Gives us context.
何を怖がることがあるんだい？
私、後宮家にお仕えする使用人です。そんな私が後宮家に連なる方と過ぎたことのように思えて。
僕もびっくりしてるよ。シャノンちゃんと出会ったのは昨日今日のことじゃない。何年も前から面識もある。でも年に何度もない親族の会合の席で挨拶をするだけ。
Then how do you fall in love?
そんな君とこうして一緒に過ごせる関係になるなんて、全然。それはシャノンもでしょ。
私は
Oh my god, now would be the perfect time to prank her and shove her in. Or the other way around. Just either way. There's the oceans right there.
してました。いえ、想像というよりは
Oh my god. I like how my theory brain has just gone into funny mode because no one's died yet.
いつも紳士的で思いやりのあるジョージ様とご縁があったらなって妄想してただけで。
じゃあ僕たちの縁は君のその信じた心のおかげだね。
Oh yeah, last time that was apparently the witch's like entire
魔
thing.
法が宿るんだよ。だか
God magic.
らその魔法がきっと僕らを巡り合わせてくれた。
They're witches.
そうですね。多分きっとそれは本当に魔法だったんだと思います。
でもね、そんなことはないんだよ。僕の中でも毎年出会うたびに美しく見違えていった君の存在はとても大きくなっていた。そして君にとっての僕も今日ここに僕らがあることは必然の結果であって魔法や奇跡なんかじゃないのさ。
奇跡はあったんです、ジョージ様。
Just stop at the water's edge and gaze beyond the sea.
魔法あったんです。
What? I was bewildered by this slightly mysterious expression which I sometimes heard her use.
魔法か？
はい。言っても信じてくれないでしょうから言いません。でも 確かにその魔法には私とジョージ様を巡り合わせてくれる
Damn it, I thought they were actually gonna like do like magic with the witches.
何かのおまじないのこと？
そうですね、そういうものの類かもしれません。一つ違うのはおまじないなんかじゃなく、
Perhaps Shannon isn't alone in wanting to credit an encounter on a miracle, or on chance it might be a universal thing or go sale. Why'd I say sale? That was weird. For a man like me, an encounter with a girl is 70% effort to try and to please her and 20% raw courage, and only 10% sense. What she believes to be everything carries a little relative weight on me. Maybe that way of thinking in itself calculating and typical of men. But were I to express that in words, any kind of magic would be broken. I do think that to become this close had taken many thoughts and concessions and great efforts from both of us. We have this private time together now only as a result of those things put together. And if she wants to call that magic, that isn't strange to the slightest. That's why I answered her the way I did.
そうだね。同じ運命を100回繰り返したら、僕と君がこういう関係になる結果は一度しか起こらないものだったかもしれない。互いを意識し合いながらも、僕たちは他人行儀な関係を今も続けていたかもしれない。そんなよその世界の僕らから見れば、今の僕たちはまさに奇跡のような関係に違いないだろうから。
そういうのじゃなくて、本当に魔法なんです。男の方にいくら言ってもこういうのは信じてもらえないんでしょうか。カノン君も全然信じてくれませんし。
信じるよ。僕が信じなくて魔法が解けたら嫌だからね。
Oh my, they're referencing the thing from the tea party. Yeah, I feel bad for anyone who didn't read the tea party. In a small voice, I apologize for making light of her magic. Those words seem to make Shannon a lot happier. After all, if a pair of people believes in the magic of love, it becomes eternal.
そうそう。僕からわがままが一つあるんだけど。
はい、何でしょうか。
そのジョージ様って呼び方嫌いじゃないけど、もうなしにしないかい？もちろん後ろ宮家では対面もあるだろうから、六軒島での普段まで強制はしないよ。でも二人きりの時はなしにしよう。うん、そういうルールにしよう。ル
ールもし破ったらどうなるんでしょう。
そうだね。ルール違反には何か罰ゲームがないといけないかもしれないね。そうだな。聞きたい？いえ、
聞きたくありません。
何がいいか僕も考えておくことにするよ。
はい。
Yeah, no, are you gonna like do maid outfit punishment games for both of you?
うん。素敵な響きだね。嬉しいよ、シャノン。
私もサヨという名前があります。
Oh, I forgot about that.
ルールはフェアじゃないといけない。
I forgot about that.
僕もそれを守って今から君のことをサヨと呼ぶことにする。いいね、サヨ。
I put my arm around her shoulder and held her close. Her delicate body was pulled irresistibly towards me, and she wept into my chest like a doll. As I held her head in my arms, we looked at the horizon together.
真っ青な海だね。この海を二人で見られてとても。
私もです。この真っ青な海をあなたと二人で見ることができて。
As we gazed at the gray sky with a light rain began to sprinkle down, we kept listening to each other's heartbeats. That's not creepy. Well, these things are going good for George until the conference, which... If this is gonna be like Higurashi, then tragedy. Oh. Yep, tragedy. The sound of the waves soaked into my ears. No, this was the sound of raging waves. My body bathed in painfully cold splashes didn't allow me to forget the memory of the day when my old fate was broken and smashed. In the past tomorrow, it would have been like a mirror to me. All I could see in it was the same that existed today. My tomorrow would never be any different from my today. That was my old fate. But at the moment for the first time, I saw a different fate beyond the mirror. The witch whispered. She tempted me to take a bite out of the fruit of knowledge. She tormented me, saying that as long as I stayed in the paradise of God, I wouldn't remain furniture. And so I learned of love and decided to choose to become a person. Those days were like a sweet melting honey. But then, I hadn't realized they were the beginning of the days filled with a new kind of suffering. What is happening? Taking a motorboat that I had been told about, I made my way to this islet. No, I couldn't possibly call it an isle. Oh, not an islet. What even is it? I butcher the reading sometimes. I am sorry. I called it isle, and I'm still laughing at that. I had a tour in a small shrine for the local deity. It was probably built to worship in the guardian deity of Rokensima. Even though I didn't know the exact meaning, I understood that it had a holy significance. Despite being in a place like this, I just took one more look around to see if there was anyone observing me. The only things I could see were the stormy ocean, Ninzima looming in the distance, and the waves breaking against Rokenzima's steep cliffside. I readied myself. Timidly approaching the small shrine, I took up the mirror that had been placed there. It was an old-looking mirror, dim and dirty. If it were an ordinary mirror, then it probably would give you a terribly bad impression of its value. However, since the mirror had been offered to the small shrine, the quality made me feel some kind of divinity from it. And I realized, this was not merely a mirror. Even if nothing more than an old-looking mirror to a non-believer like myself in actuality, it was a mirror that had an important meaning. Is it really alright to break it after being captivated by honeyed words? No, this is no mirror. It is the inescapable life I have lived up until today, my fate. Break it. Break it and seize a life from beyond the mirror. Who is breaking this mirror, and why are you doing this? The witch whispers. She tempts me to take a bite of the fruit of knowledge. Or maybe I was already had a taste of that fruit. Because I ended up not... Who is speaking? Just as Adam and Eve felt complicated to pluck the fig leaf, I can no longer go... Oh, I accidentally pressed space. I followed the conflict for many days. Inside my heart, the virtuous part of me and the part that sided with the witch repeatedly fought each other. And now here I am. Did the part of me who is here win or lose? There's only one thing I know. To obtain something, you must be ready to lose something. The cowards who don't risk loss and never try to change anything will never be given the key to open the path to a new future. The key is already in my hands. It is to break this. To break it. Is there any effort I can make as furniture imprisoned on Rokensima? No. Wait, furniture! Furniture! Who is... It surely must be a servant. These are wait, it could be canon. Now, break it. Break the eternity, unchangeable fate that imprisons me into pieces. I raised it high, though back on all of those days of conflict, and after time far too brief to do them justice, I finished my reflections and threw it. The thunder roared, crying out against me for my outrageous act. It was truly the wrath of angels preparing to banish me from eternal paradise. I looked down in the mirror, tumbling at my feet, broken into two equal parts. And having made sure I accomplished my task, I looked up at the enraged sky and screamed. Oh! Shannon! What? The thunder roared once more, and it had already been banished from paradise, so I wouldn't have to struggle by myself in order to live. The witch had said it. That's the single element of the world. To lose it means to lose the world. Like how a flask with a hole in the bottom can't be filled, no matter how much water you scoop into it. Okay, it isn't a new Umineko episode without someone yelling. Oh yes, the OP! I'm excited for this. Oh my god, that looks so cool. There's a lot happening. Okay, what the fuck did I just watch? I saw a lot of new characters. Okay, furniture, great. A lot of new characters, a lot of stuff I didn't recognize. Yeah, this is why people complain about the Tigarashi OPs. I know that people were complaining about them, but I guess the same goes for Umineko. They include a lot of stuff I haven't seen yet. The first episode kinda kept it simple, and I know that those were the PC openings, so I won't get to see the rest of them. I'll have to check those out once I actually finish the individual episodes, but wow, that was a lot. My mind wandered. Back to the days when I could barely imagine the happiness I have today. I was a middle schooler at the time, an ordinary girl who dreamed about love as in normal at that age, but I really should not have dreamed that dream, because I am furniture. Furniture is nothing more than a tool, and is not human. For a person less than a human such as myself, just receiving my education was more sufficient happiness. So even thinking about love was more than I deserved. The Ushiromiya family conference was a customary event held every October, but relatives would occasionally visit at other times as well. Of course, they didn't come just to drink tea. On this day, Eva's family had visited the head oh yeah, they want the money. The 3 people from Krause's family and the 3 people from Eva's family had gathered in the pillar, and were having a friendly chat as they updated everyone on their situations. Gansey had supposedly told Kinzo of Eva's family arrival, but he hadn't come down yet. He was probably immersed in his own research and couldn't spare the time. This often happened, so others waited patiently for Fickle Father to come down.
ほう、それは頼もしいじゃないか。お父さんのところでたくさん勉強して早く手助けができるよう頑張りたまえ。
ありがとうございます。今は父の紹介でたくさんの人生の先輩方に本当に貴重な勉強をさせていただいています。
If so, I'm gonna be shocked.
そのいずれも学校では学べないことばかりです。
Wait, has everyone else appeared now? Yes, everyone has appeared. We have a full game board. Let's get it. Shannon, George, Jessica, Battler. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this for everyone, but yeah, there's a lot of people. Though it doesn't say the human and witch side thing yet. I'm assuming that'll happen once actually witches at least appear. I mean, last time they did appear, I'm certain that surely Beatrice will show herself again.
学校で習うのは国語算数やない。ものを学ぶ姿勢と態度を学ぶんや。その基礎ができて、ようやく生涯をかけた勉強が始まるんやで。ここをな、勘違いしとるやつは生涯学べん石頭や。国語算数で満点取れても会社じゃ役に立たへん。
全くその通りだよ。秀吉さんの教育方針はいつも本当にご立派ですな。
ジョージもまだまだ半人前や。それを常に忘れんで勉強に励むんやで。
よしなさいよあなた。ジョージはいつも一生懸命頑張ってるわよ。
It's so nice to see everyone smiling and not panicking.
本当に立派ね。うちのジェシカにも爪の赤を分けてもらいたいわ。
まだ
Oh my god, my favorite character is on screen.
受験勉強は私なりにやってるって。こんな席でまで言うことはねえだろうよ。うせえぜ。
When George was praised for his diligence, the conversation would nearly always turn to Jessica, who hated studying. Jessica made an openly displeased face as though she had known it would come back to her.
やれやれ、ジェシカは勉強と一緒に少しはおしとやかな言葉遣いも学ぶ。後宮家の家紋を背負う一人娘がそれではみっともないな。
あら、これはこれで魅力的。時代は変わるのよ。男に食わしてもらうために定宿を装わなくてはならなかった時代はとっくに終わってるんだから。
そうそう、やっぱエヴァおばさんは分かってますね。はあ、
今日は頭痛が特にこたえます。
Okay, yeah, never mind.
大
Things
丈夫
are
ですか？
back to drama.
夏日おばさん、顔色が優れないみたいです。
I wonder what's the source of her headache. Like, I know it's probably nothing,
あ
but
りがとう。
surely
大丈
some
夫です。
kind of thing is behind it.
でも本当に月日が経つ半ズボン姿で浜辺を駆け巡ってずぶ濡れになって帰ってきた日がついこ
What?
の
That's a
そ
weird
れはジェ
memory.
シカちゃんも同じように今じゃお化粧の仕方にだってこだわるレディーなんだから眉にこだわりがあるのね。今日のあなたとってもキュートよ。
Am I in an alternate reality?
ありがとうご
Eva's
ざい
way
ます。
too nice.
誰も気づいてくれなかったんで自信なくしてたとこです。
A full smile rose to Jessica's face as the results of her own studies were finally noticed. Eva smiled back just as widely. Then she turned the smile towards
ダ
Natsui.
メよ夏日ね。自分のこの小さな変化にも気づかなくちゃ。かわいそうなジェシカちゃん。一番最初にお母さんに気づいてもらいたかったでしょうにね。
いいんですいいんです。あの人そういうの全然気づかない人なんで。
ジェシカ、母親をあの人呼ばわりとは感心できんね。
What?
謝りなさい。
Oh
言
my.
葉遣いについては後でよく言って聞かせます。
What the?
ちぇ、お子様は邪魔だってんならそう言ってくれよ。私は席を外させてもらうぜ。ここは空気がよどんでるぜ。
ジェシカ。
Jessica was still at the unpredictable age with exams right around the corner. Recently, she had clashed often with her mother, who was enthusiastic about her education.
失礼いたします。
Jessica making to leave the pro in a bad mood and Shannon pushing her servant coat low to the tea bumped into each other.
ああ、シャノン。私の分のお茶はいらないぜ。私は庭でもほっつき歩いてくる。お嬢様？
シャノン、お茶が冷めます。配膳を急ぎなさい。
Oh, God damn
失礼
it!
しました。
Natsui, you ruined it yet again. We've had a good mood, and then you've ruined it. Sin hadn't actually done anything wrong, but naturally it felt like some same to herself had been sown, lashed out emotionally. This was something that often happened. Yeah, we saw it happen last episode, and it made me mad. She shrank back and nervously prepared the black tea. She had the unfortunate habit of making more mistakes when she felt intimidated. Her pitiful appearance disappeared the peaceful atmosphere that had been there until just a... Yeah, no, like everyone was getting along, and then she's just like, Jessica, you suck. Wow. Her shaking fingers made the porcelain clatter, and you couldn't have called it graceful, not even as an empty compliment. The more pitiful everyone thought that was, the greater the silence grew. The more irritated Natsu looked, and the more Shannon cowered. Shannon's thin neck felt like it was being choked and suffocated by the death god called tension. Then George spoke cheerfully as if to blow the stiff atmosphere.
これはいい香りだね。何の紅茶かな？
これは。
言わないで。当てるから。これは特徴的な匂いだから多分わかるよ。アールグレイかな？
多分そうだと思います。
多分アールグレイで合ってるよ。台所に戻ったら紅茶の缶を見てごらん。
ほう、ジョージ君は紅茶に詳しいのかね？
お世話になっている社長さんに紅茶の詳しい人がいまして、講釈を聞いているうちに少しだけわかるようになりました。
お好み食品の社長さんかい。
Okay, new... Hold up. Higu, I see character
あの
well.
人、そういううんちくは得意やな。
紅茶の名前って産地を示すことが多いんでしょ？じゃあこれはアールグレイという土地で栽培されたのが由来なのかしらね。
昔イギリスにグレイ伯爵という人がいたそうで、その人にちなんでつけた名前だそうだよ。ちなみにこの特徴的な匂いは茶葉のものではなくて、ベルガモットというみかんの親戚にあたる果物でつけた。
そうなの。初めて知りました。
Oh my...
そういう知
They
識を持ってい
literally
ると
all like
紅
smiling
茶
now
もよ
and
り
they
美
would...
味しくいただけますね。
I don't
酒もタバ
understand
コ
these
も
people.
同じや。
I'm sorry,
嗜好
but...
品はロマンをたしなむもんやで。こういううんちくが味わいを深めるんや。
薬の能書きと同じよね。夏日姉さんも愛用してる頭痛薬の説明書、今度はじっくり読んでから飲んでみなさいよ。
それはいい。今夜試してみなさい。
ええ、試してみます。
シャノちゃん、そのポットを開けてごらん。茶葉の中にベルガモットを乾燥させたものが混じっているのを見つけられるはずで。
はい、入っています。オレンジの皮を乾燥させたようなものが混じっています。
うん、多分これがベルガモットだね。アールグレイの香りの主成分だよ。
Why is George knowledgeable about like literally every
匂い
subject
は
ever?
鮮烈だから味がきつそうな印象があるけど、素直で
The
飲
only
み
thing
や
is
すい
not
味なんだよ。
knowledgeable is about witches.
ミルクティーにすると香りも
Because
ま
they
ろや
don't
かになって
exist.
素敵かもしれないね。みんなに注い
Or
で
am
ポッ
I?
トに余った分があったら、ぜひミルクティーにして飲んでみるといいよ。
はい、ありがとうございます。
George gave her a small wink. Shannon finally realized that George had been doing her a favor by calming down the atmosphere in the room, and he had been doing this for the sake as she had lost her self-confidence. The Ushima family didn't pamper their servants, so if there were any awkwardness, they would be harshly punished. So it didn't often happen that they were given a helping hand like this. Thanks to George's concern, Shannon was somehow able to get a hold of herself and finish serving everything safely. If she was calm when she worked, she could easily carry out her tasks elegantly and flawlessly. By the time the black tea was laid out on the table and the elegant scene drifted around, the room was completely back to how it had been, in a peaceful mood as everyone praised George's knowledge. Shannon... Okay, so I know I should be happy for George, but, like, I feel so bad for Jessica at the same time because she gets compared to George, and then, like, when she says that she does her own struggles, everyone's just like, you're set, and, like, she walks away, like, feeling sad, and everyone's just like, oh no, George is so awesome. This is horrible.
ジョージ兄さんは昔からそういう時には助け舟を出してくれるんだよ。話題をさらりと変えてくれるというかさ。
Shannon and Jessica could be seen in the rose garden. Jessica, having gotten into a fight with her mother, now felt unable to simply nonchalantly wander back into the parlor, and so found herself here killing time.
思い返せば、こういう助けられ方をしたのは今回が初めてじゃないけど。
Whenever I made a careless mistake and George Summer was there, he would always naturally smooth things over and make things harmonious, I think. Maybe it was just something as direct as picking up a fork that had been dropped, but this was his way of caring. Even servants have pride. They want to fix their own mistakes by themselves, because if a guest helped them out with that, they would lose face.
そういう空気を読むのが得意なんだろうぜ。ま、ジョージ兄さんの美学なんだろうよ。あの人、妙に気ざったらしいところあるからな。
そんなことあります。とっても素敵な方だと思います。
ひょっとしてシャノン、ジョージ兄さんに惚れた？
Well, you're just picking up on this now? Jessica, did you not read the prologue? Shannon had refuted Jessica's words uncharacteristically forcefully, so Jessica caught on immediately.
そういうことはないかと。
そういや、ジョージ兄さんってあまり浮いた話を聞いたことないし、あれ？確か家庭的な子がタイプだとか前に聞いたかな。そりゃいいぜ、シャノンぴったりじゃん。
私がですか？そんな、私には
資格はあるぜ。何年も昔から顔を合わせてて、半ば幼なじみ状態。互いに男女であることを意識しないナチュラルな関係ってのは、一度意識し始めるとトントン拍子らしい。
Jessica loved teen magazines with these kinds of stories, and she was always on the phone talking steadily with her friends about that kind of thing. So she had a keen interest in, yeah, figured. So this wasn't the first time a topic like this had been brought to Shannon. Though I am going to end here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like, subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Bye.